Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Ali Porcin. Today we're going to be doing a seafoam inspired look. So we're going to use this color Closer Than You Might Bellum by OPI. And it's going to go with those sandals that I just moved out of the way. So we're going to go ahead and start with fresh, clean feet. We used acetone to remove any excess nail polish. And then we're going to go in with Orly's Bonder. This is the base coat that I've been using for a while. It is a texturizing base coat, so it's a bit grippy. We're also going to do Second Dry by Orly as well. This is a fast drying top coat. Kind of has like a plasticizing effect to it. But we're going to start with that base coat. Zoom you guys in just a smidge. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do the base coat on all of the toes, and the base coat, like always, protects the natural nail. It's also going to give the nail polish a little something to hold on to, so if you have a problem with it chipping or flaking off, sometimes changing up your base coat is the way to go. And right now this Bonder base coat is kind of my favorite because my nails do occasionally like to chip in the summertime. Just something going on with chemistry. We're going to go ahead and apply that to all of our toes like we're seeing here. After that, I will be using that seafoam green that I have from OPI. And that one, I really picked that one because it matches the green that we see in the sandals that I'm going to be using. There's also some other elements in those sandals we're going to see later on that I'm going to pull from as well. I always go ahead and shake my nail polish just because I have way too many nail polishes, so I always want to make sure that it is fresh for me. It hasn't been sitting out too long or anything like that. We're going to go ahead and apply it to all of our toes. And with this particular pedicure, there's not really a rhyme or reason at the beginning of this video. You'll see later on I kind of figure out what it is I want to do, but I knew for sure that I wanted to have this particular seafoam green. It is one of the colors I am obsessed with. I absolutely love different shades of like a seafoam green or a teal. It's just something that's always been a draw for me. So I figured I'd go ahead and put it on my toes today. And as we're kind of going through here, you'll see each of those toes kind of gets the nice little brush strokes. Kind of separate out my toes as I can. I will also apologize for how swollen and red my feet are. I am still recovering from all of the mosquito bites that I got over the 4th of July, despite the fact that that was like a month ago. But it happens, especially for my toes. They are apparently delicious according to mosquitoes. So we're going to go ahead and put that seafoam green on the other foot. Again, with the little toes, you want to make sure that you're using just a small amount of nail polish, and then for the big toe you can use a little bit more. Really kind of one of those things, as you do your own pedicures, you'll figure out kind of how much polish each toe really needs. So you'll see I go back in for some and clean up just a few spots here and there with my nail. You could also use a cleanup brush or a wooden like cuticle stick. My fingernails work just as well for me, and today they look phenomenal, so I figured why not continue to use them. After that, we're going to go ahead and put on a second coat if it's needed. If it's not needed, you don't have to. And looking at this, I was like, you know what? I also probably need to do something fancier. So while I'm doing this second coat, I'm wondering, do I want to do some silver on here? Or do I want to do some browns to pull in the cork from those sandals? What all would work? And you'll see that I actually end up settling on silver just as something to kind of add a little bit of sparkle to my toes. Right now though, still doing the second coat, so that's kind of going to add some opacity to this color. It's not a super sheer color anyways, but this is going to make it a little bit more of a vibrant color, and just be better at what I want it to be. So we're going to finish that up eventually. And we'll figure out what else we want to do with this. So we have the final coats here. We could technically just leave it like this because it does still match the pedicure. But if we want to do something else, like I'm showing you here, it does have silver in the back of this sandal. So I was thinking pulling some of that sandal in, or some of that silver in there to kind of go with the sandal, give it more sparkle. And of course I did not have it right next to me, so I'm gonna have to go grab it. You'll see me here in a second reach over there and grab my silver. I'm grabbing a different silver as well because that one didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. And honestly, I should probably just have edited this out, but I'm too far into this now, and I don't really feel like editing that again. So we're going to continue, and you're just going to have to listen to me talk. This is the silver I'm going to use. This is a striper that I got from Walgreens years and years and years ago, as you can see by the fact that the lid doesn't always want to stay on. But honestly, you could probably get this at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, just about anywhere that has like El Cheapo nail polish. The cool thing with this one though is because it's a striper brush, it's actually going to have that really long thin brush, and that's what we're looking for, because I'm just going to do kind of a modified French tip with this. So I'm really just going to do 2 stripes, one at the very top of my nail and one kind of at the beginning of that smile line. So we're going to kind of put that in there right with that, play with it a little bit more, and really just kind of looking for a subtle sparkle, but still enough of something to kind of make them pop a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and do that top one as well. And you can see it's a very thin line, so we're not doing a full French tip. If we were doing a traditional French tip, I would do a much thicker line along the top, because we would want to have that nice distinctive portion, but this one is just going to be kind of stripities. So just kind of like that. Clean up any excess right in there. We'll do the same thing to our other toe, but you can see just it's subtle. It's small. It's still going to be enough, because with those sandals, the silver isn't overpowering at all. It's just a little bit of extra chain mail to go into the back of that heel. So we want to keep it, you know, just a little bit extra. So we'll go ahead and put the French tip on here, and then that other little line as well. And this is another spot where you could technically leave it with just these lines on the toes and have that be your main pop. I of course decided that I wanted to add even more, so we're going to do one more round of sparkle on the toes before we call it good. We're going to finish up that last line on the big toes first though, so you can see right in there, just very gently doing that. And the cool thing with this striper brush is you can make some of those little precise tiny details with that, but it is called a striper brush for a reason. It's really good at making stripes, not super great at making dots, so good thing we're using it for stripes. So again, you could leave it here. I'm going to go ahead and add this shimmer topper to it as well. We're going to go ahead and do an accent nail for my toes. It's not going to show up too much, really just going to be a little extra sparkle to it. But I really like this topper because it's not going to distort the color of the toe too much, or any color that's underneath it. It's really just going to add that kind of holographic reflections to it. Now we do our top. For those nails, and for this particular top coat, it's also going to help it dry a little bit faster because it does that plasticizing effect. So it dries super fast, kind of a plastic cover over it while the rest of the nail polish finishes drying. And this is one of my favorite top coats for that. You do have other top coats you could certainly use, whatever one works best for you. I personally prefer the quick drying ones because I don't have time to be patient for any of that, and I also want to put the shoes on by the end of this video. I also got a spritz dry in my subscription pack with Orly, so we're going to try that out today. So you just kind of spritz it on. And what this is going to do, there's actually a chemical in here that hardens your nail polish a little bit faster. So it's going to be even more dry in just a couple seconds. So it's almost dry to the touch, and you don't have to worry as much about causing smudges and things like that. And so here we're going to go ahead, put the sandals on, see if it'll cooperate with me. This one, they are new, so the holes don't quite cooperate for me, but I still want to show you guys what it's going to look like with this. So there's the first one. You can see it's got the silver accent on the front as well because it has the little stud, but it's got that seafoam for the T-strap, and then the cork and some green along the edge as well. So I've got that one in there. In sunlight, this does actually match, and if you follow my Instagram, you'll have already seen pictures of this, but this is our final look. Super cute toes, super cute sandals. What more could you ask for on a great day? Thank you guys for watching. Thumbs up, subscribe, comment, whatever YouTube wants you guys to do now. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Okay.